What would you do if you lived in a country or a world or at a time when corruption is not the norm, it's the system? Welcome to the dystopian Philippines of DIE. DIE, or Department of Irregular Elimination by Just Villanueva. Let's go. This is BookTube. BookTube is a subculture community kung saan na mambabasa ay nagre-react tungkol sa mga kwentong kanyang binasa para sa future na mambabasa. Ikaw yon. Kung ikaw ang author or member ka ng community nitong author na to, please note that this video is not meant to hate, berate, humiliate, or cause tea or drama sa'yo, sa inyo at sa community nyo. I am not here for that. We are not here for that. We are just here for the story. So this is just the first book. Hindi ko alam kung gaano kadami itong plano nitong si Just for this series. But please, keep it coming. I know I usually start this video talking about the quality of the book itself, pero siguro gagawin ko na lang yon right at the end kasi how do I even start this video? Here we have a sci-fi tale kung saan it mirrors our current society. Minus the lumilipad na the hover cars, minus all of that, and the laser beams, and the nanomites, and all that stuff. The story here, or rather yung Philippines na nire-represent itong story na to, is somewhat close to what we're experiencing right now. For some part of it just felt all too real. Stick around kasi there's absolutely something noteworthy about this story, about this book, that really encapsulates the kind of politics, the kind of lifestyle that most of us here in the Philippines is currently experiencing. Which now begs to my question, are we really moving forward or are we stagnant as a country? Let's talk about the hook of the book. Doon pa lang sa introduction nitong story na to, automatic, pinakita niya sa atin yung setting. Nandun tayo sa isang alley. Tapos meron tayong dalawang characters doon na they're fighting off, or rather, nandun sila doon sa parang buy-bust operation. We're in it for the police story. Imagine a future Philippines kung saan it is ravaged by corruption. So deeply entrenched doon sa mga police natin. Yung pinaka-police force ang sinister kuno. Diba, for those in the field of justice, the justice system and all that, they're supposed to be the ones protecting the citizens. Sila dapat yung parang nag-e-enforce ng, oh, don't worry, we will save you, we will protect you from all of this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Itong mundo dito, or rather, yung Philippines dito sa story nitong si Just Villanueva, he thrusted us dito sa kakaibang angle ng Philippines. Yon, that's the right word for it. DIE for me is more than just a sci-fi dystopian fiction. This happens to be a brutal commentary doon sa fragility ng justice system. Lalo na when greed takes over power and it takes the reins. So, living in that kind of dystopian society, which we will discuss that later, that in itself is already scary. Diba? So, Ate Carla, ano nga ba yung DIE? Ano po ba yun? Anong meron doon sa Department of Irregular Elimination? Kung may irregular, ibig sabihin, ate, meron din regular? The answer lies in this. In the summary. In a dystopian Philippines, the population is divided into two groups, regular and irregulars. 21-year-old Mavlin Diaz joins the DIE, the Department of Irregular Elimination, to eliminate NEETs, life rent evaders, criminals, insurgents, and every other irregular citizen that comes crawling out of the woodwork. But when her principles start crashing with reality, will Mavlin be able to change the world, or will the world change her? Sabi nga dito, meron tayong dalawang klase ng grupo ng tao dito sa Philippines. Dito sa DIE world. Regulars are the modern day citizens kung saan lahat sila ay, they are law-abiding citizens. Mga mababait tong mga taong to. They pay their bills, they have jobs. Ito yung mga klase ng tao na magpupulot ng basura, nalagay doon. Magbabayad ng bills way ahead of time. Merong magandang trabaho. High-paying jobs. Or maybe not even high-paying jobs. They just pay their bills on time. And they do not rely doon sa donations and charity ng mga government, government organizations or maybe even the NGOs. And most of all, they do not rely on their families, di ba? So, yun yung mga regulars. Ngayon, Ate Carla, nandito sa title mismo, ano po yung Department of Irregular Elimination? Given na meron tayong mga law-abiding citizens, yung mga tunay na nagbabayad, mga taxpayers, mga ganyan. Yung mga irregular, ito naman yung mga not necessarily criminals, although some of them are, meron tayong mga tinatawag dito na levels of irregular. So, 4 yon. Yung level 1 is supposed to be yung mga life rent evaders. Ito po yung mga klase ng tao na, let's say, nawalan ka ng trabaho. Sige, bibigyan kita ng chance, 3 chance para mabayaran mo yung bills mo on time, or maybe even ahead of time, or makaipon ka ng pera para nga mabayaran mo yung bills mo on time, and then magawa mo ang lahat, as in, lahat, para magkaroon ka ng trabaho at makapagbayad ka ng tax mo or bills mo on time. Yun yung life rent. Level 2 naman is usually, ito yung mga full-blown criminals. So, we got the pushers, the robbers, yung mga nangingidnap, yan. As in, full-blown criminal mode na nga ito. Yung level 3 naman, nandito papasok yung mga terrorist, or rather yung mga national kinds of crime, criminals, mga ganyan. Yung fourth is, I'll let you figure that out. Basta just expect that the 4th level of being an irregular is the worst. Let's talk about the world building muna dito sa story na to. Very often do I come across yung mga sci-fi stories, dystopian sci-fi stories in particular, na maganda yung pagkakagawa ng world building niya. I think it is one of its strongest aspects. Yung pagka-dystopia niya is not exactly that far off into the future. Okay, right now, ngayon, sa atin, sa modern day Philippines, we don't have any hovercrafts. We don't have nanomites. We don't have all those implanted na mga parang super human strength para sa mga tao to suddenly change and parang magre-regenerate ka ng sarili mong cells to heal yourself. Basta parang ganon. So, nasa ganong klase ng level yung pagka-advance nitong Philippines dito sa story na to. Naalala ko lang talaga si Neri Oxman nung binabasa ko to na parang, okay, that is really giving. That's both exciting and looming at the same time. Yung ilang mga infrastructure dito, particularly para dun sa mga nasa poverty line, okay, yung mga malapit na talaga maging super mega ultra irregulars, nandoon yung crumble ng mga infrastructure around the characters. Like, for example, itong si Mav, our main character. One would think that, she might be living in this not really so fancy, but rather an appropriate apartment para sa mga police officers, or rather, people from the justice system. The answer is no. Isipin mo na lang yung rabbit dun sa Zootopia na nakatira siya dito sa isang napakaliit na unit, tapos pagdating niya sa bahay, yung magpapainit siya nung convenience store niya na dinner, ganong level. So, parang, oh my God, no. Wala lang, naisip ko lang na parang, this is actually happening, IRL. What makes this story absolutely grounded is the fact that it is gritty, it is raw. There's still a huge divide between the elites, or rather yung mga mayayaman, and then yung mga nasa poverty line. I don't think there's even a middle class in here. I don't know. And I think that's very important. Meron tayong societal standards na pinapakita dito sa story na to, but it's the kind of divide na talagang mapapaisip ka na, wait lang. Wait. Because we are actually living in this situation at pinapakita lang na this is futuristic. Ano yung tanong ko nung intro? Are we actually moving forward or are we just stagnant? Eto, sabi ko dito, the system wasn't broken, it was designed this way, to crush the powerless and feed the powerful. I don't know about you, but ang daming quotable quotes dito kasi, teka, mamaya natin pag-uusapan kung paano siya magsulat pero like I said, madami tong quotable quotes, enough for me to feel that story in my gut. It is a punch in the gut. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, pag-usapan na muna natin ngayon yung characters. Well, maybe not all of them kasi pag binanggit ko lahat ng characters dito sa story na to, masuspoil ka na too much. We have our main character. Her name is Mavlyn Diaz. During the introduction of the story, si Mav, we'll just call her Mav, hindi pa siya full-blown agent. Kumbaga, gagraduate pa lang siya or rather, kukunin pa lang niya yung necktie niya. Kasi one of the things na ginawa dito as part of the world building nitong si Justice, the way they dress up. Which in hindsight, if you actually think about it, when you are in a seat of power, when you have influence of sorts, you tend to dress up way better, don't you think? Kaya nga nauso yung mga old money aesthetic. Even in clothing, there's a huge divide. Which, pinakita din yun dito. I don't know if it's intentional na pinakita dito ni Just, but I feel like that's one of the key hidden elements na naisulat niya that is absolutely brilliant. Kasi ito I see a lot of TikToks talking about, oh, if you see this person wearing brandless shirts, they are the real rich. They are the real wealthy. But if you see yung certain luxury items dito sa taong to, they are fake wealthy. They are not all that. Or they could be just new money. Here's the reality of things. The reality for most of us is that we don't really care what we look like. We just care that, oh, this feels good sa katawan ko. Oh, I'm gonna buy that kasi I can afford it and I'm just gonna wear it because it makes me feel good about myself. The brands don't matter. What matters is gaano to katagal or rather gaano ko to katagal magagamit. Yun yung investment sa mga damit. Sabi ko nga, dito sa story ng DIE, for the agents, yung ganong klase ng influence or yung tell ng mga tao, it's not the long sleeves, the gray or black outfits. No, it's the tie. Their necktie. Ito, yung suot niya, yung necktie niya. Dahil kakagraduate pa lang niya at kakapasok pa lang niya dito sa DIE, Mav's tell, or rather Mav's influence is a gray tie. Habang pataas ka ng pataas, nagiging blue ka, nagiging red. So, yon. Tapos minsan pa nga, meron ka pa yung mga badge of honors dyan, syempre. So si Mav, she's the kind of MC na, oh, I will do this. I will be protecting the innocents. I will be doing my job. I will be a standard law-abiding citizen. Parang ganon. Kasi nga, doe-eyed pa siya sa justice system na I did this, ginawa ko to, nag-police work ako, naging part ako ng DIE kasi naniniwala ako na kahit anong mangyari, we can clean up the Philippines. With consistency and honesty and loyalty sa system, you and I can make a change. Yon, ganun pa yung mentality niya before. Until, like any other dystopian societies that are tackling itong mga focus on poverty, societal standards, the regulars and irregulars nga, at saka yung mga opportunities that are made available para do sa mga tao who are living upstairs. Since naiintindihan na nitong si Mav, yung, or rather nakikita na niya yung divide na yon, that's when shit hits the fan. Kasi just as she's opening her eyes to this bigger concept of what it takes to be part of the big boys, you know, the big gang, the big guns, naiintindihan na niya na sometimes, if you want to do justice, if you want to clean up something, you're gonna have to do the dirty work. Ito ang masasabi ko lang dito, okay? Each of the characters dito sa DIE, they are flawed. Kahit yung mga side characters, kahit yung mga cases ba na pinapakita dito sa DIE, hindi siya black and white. At some point dito sa story, meron tayong mga mamimit na mga cases nga na akala natin, okay, kawawa naman siya kasi nawalan siya ng trabaho tapos na-take over ng AI yung mga jobs, di ba? Yung mga discussion ngayon. Pero, once na they settled with that case, i-introduce sa atin yung other background characters that is related to the case file or rather dun sa tao na case nila. Tapos, dun natin makikita na kaya siya ni-report, it's because he, or rather they, those characters are not exactly innocent. Maybe they are absolutely taking advantage of the kindness ng mga family nila, yung charity ng mga tao around them. Lahat ng characters dito, don't take them as a sort of black and white kinds of characters. Yun yung isa kong na-appreciate din dito sa story, or rather, yung pagkakasulat ni Just dito sa characters niya. Kasi nilagyan niya ng depth. Ang masasabi ko lang talaga dito sa character nitong si Mav is, she really tried. Just like any one of us would. But the fact remains na Mav is torn between their role, or rather her role as an enforcer of this broken system, by the way, and yung lingering sense of morality, of humanity. Similar to what I said dun sa story ni Josh Gonzalez, dun sa law series niya, I said there, it's something that's got to do with being a lawyer. Na itong mga lawyers natin, not all of them are actually defending the innocent. Some of them had to defend the criminal. And it's exactly that kind of situation na na-meet nitong si Mav dito sa story. You have to choose which side you're on. Parang ganun eh. So yung scenario na yun yung nakadagdag do sa depth nitong character nitong si Mav. Ewan ko kung hindi pala nakikita, pero meron akong mga notes somewhere here. Sinulat ko doon na, if I was in that situation, I won't do that kasi so and so and so. But remember, she is an enforcer. Kakagraduate lang niya. She's literally trying na ipakita doon sa partner niya na, hey, I can do that too. I can be a good police enforcer. Basta parang ganon. Just like you. Kasi idol niya yung partner niya eh. So talaga nagpapakitang gila siya. Pero, ayun nga, such is life. I'm pretty sure, kahit hindi tayo yung, we're not working for the justice system or anything na parte ng government natin, at some point, mabublur yung reality natin into a survival mode. We are clutching on whatever power we could have to survive. Alam mo yun, yung parang nagtatrabaho ka lang naman, gusto mo lang naman gawin yung tama, pero ano mo magagawa yung tama kung yung mga kasama mo naman corrupt? Gets mo? Nagigets mo ba? Hindi ko nababanggitin yung mga supporting characters dito sa story na to kasi I really am encouraging you to check out and buy this book for yourself. One pa lang to. Unang book pa lang to, pero sobrang dami ng magagandang action sequence, morality issues, poverty, basta themes. Yung mga themes dito sa story na to, fabulous. Genius. Every interaction dito sa story na to feels like it's loaded with tension, with hidden agendas para dun sa mga characters. And I'm like, alam niyo yung pag nagbabasa kayo ng story, tapos gusto niyo nang matulog, alam niyo kailangan niyo nang matulog kasi bukas may work kayo. Pero hindi ko magawa dito eh. I mean, yeah, sure, this is just 153 pages lang to. But my God, I cannot put this down. This is, I think the way Villanueva or si Just, the way he projects or rather writes itong mga characters niya dito sa story na to. You don't just read these characters. You feel them eh. You feel their inner turmoil simply because the way Just writes is he shows us instead of telling us what's going on. Ano yung struggles nitong characters na to? Ano yung mga pros and cons? Kamusta yung pagiging humans nila? So dun pa lang talaga, parang, oh my God. This is why we need more sci-fi stories. Okay, let's go naman doon sa mga plots and themes nitong story na to. Ang dami kong gustong sabihin about this story na sobrang, oh my God. Anyway, ayoko lang kayo mas-spoil kasi nga 153 pages lang to. Pero my God, plot-wise, The plot is a roller coaster of action, intrigue, absolutely devastating revelations. Sabi ko nga, corruption, justice, morality, power, influence. You know what? Ito I feel like at its heart, yung story nito, or rather yung theme nitong mismong DIE as a series, it explores the cosmic corruption that's happening IRL on people like you and me. Yung mga nangyayaring corruptions ngayon as a community or even sa entire nations. I mean, okay, sure, nakafocus tayo, or rather the setting is focused on a dystopian Philippines, pero if you watch or if you listen or if you read the news all over the world, grabe, parang mapapaisip ka na, there will always be times when you're gonna have to dip your toes in to doing something that you don't necessarily want to do in order for you to change the world. To move something forward. It asks the question, can you fight a corrupt system without becoming corrupt yourself? And when survival is at stake, how much of your humanity are you willing to sacrifice? Now, let's talk about the writing style. As you are reading itong story ng DIE, you are literally solving cases with Mav. In terms of... sige, i-break down natin to. Let's talk first about the action sequence. Intro. You would already see how action-packed this story... Wait, nakakalmahan ko. You will already see how action-packed this story is. No room to breathe. No room to breathe. As I was reading the action sequence dito sa story na to, sabi ko, wait lang, ano nangyayari? And okay, the thing is, given na meron tayong mga tech na binabasa dito, yung mga science part, may mga ganun tayong klase ng tech na hindi introduce dito sa story na to. But even then, even if you are reading all of that, mareretain mo eh. Sabi ko nga, yung pagka-dystopian or futuristic nitong story na to, it is grounded. Wala pa siya sa Blade Runner, wala pa din siya doon sa iRobot, wala pa siya doon. Meron din dito yung mga, alam mo yung mga places na madadaanan mo. So, iniisip ko parang gusto ko pumunta ng Makati ngayon. Tapos makikita ko doon, may imagine ko yung tower, yung building mismo ng DIE. Hindi siya nagsusugarcoat. There's no bullshit in this story. Talagang ipinapakita niya sa'yo yung harsh realities na nangyayari dito sa mga characters sa story niya. Apart from the fact that the story is happening in a dystopian world, the way you write or the way you wrote your story, there's something poetic about it, and actually there's also something romantic about the way you write your lines. Let me read this. Ito, sa page 7. Page 7 pa lang. Meron ako hinart ka agad dito. Stryker cut her off. Diaz, yes sir? Do gods dwell with men? Do gods dwell with men? I don't know! Ito, another one. Ito, sa page 8 naman, sabi ko sa'yo lahat ng pages dito, meron ako commentaries, ganun siya kaganda. Sabi niya dito, hindi ko na babasahin yung buong paragraph pero doon sa last line, sa first paragraph dito sa page 8, sabi niya dito, she squinted from the last silver of sunset sinking behind the colossal, haunted dwellings of the dead and the desperate. Yung mga ganun niyang tirada dito sa mga sinusulat niya dito, it's like, hindi siya over flowery. Pero yung impact, marunong siya sa pacing. Alam niya kung saan niya gagamitin yung mga ganung klase ng flowery words nga na tinatawag natin. Yung mga showing not telling niya. Ang smooth ng transition niya every time. This book is still not perfect, pero my God, the writing. We need more of this. Sir, I need more of this, please. The dialogues are snappy. Yun nga, yung pacing niya, it keeps you hooked. It kept me hooked from page 1, from the prologue, hanggang sa page 153. I'm like blown away. Honestly, kung fan ka ng mga fast-paced, thought-provoking na storytelling, I highly recommend this book. Kasi ang dami mong matututunan. Lalo na kung kunyari, let's say emerging writer ka and you are writing an action-packed na story. Miss Ma'am, Miss Sir, Sir Ma'am. Eto. Kita mo yan? Learn from this. This is a good example of how to write an action sequence. Kasi, hindi niya ako pinagpahinga. Hindi niya ako binigyan ng dull moment. Every page is so good! So, Ate Carla, is this book, DIE, worth my time and money? Yes. Kasi I believe na ito yung mga klase ng libro, or rather, ito yung mga klase ng story that will stick with you. It challenges you to think critically. Lalo na, it asks you the essential questions of how do you actually see or how do you view the world around you. This story, it's not just some fiction written for entertainment. No. This is fiction written as a wake-up call. Kasi most of the topics, most of the themes here in this story, topics of poverty, overpopulation, the social divide, education, feeding system, housing system, jobs, employment, what else? Corruption, injustices, the balance between justice and doing what's good and what's right, the dichotomy between good and evil, all that jazz. It's happening right now. We don't have, or rather, tayo, ikaw at ako, for me, hindi mo na kailangan masyadong i-imagine kung paano kaya nakatira ako sa mundo nitong si Mav. You don't have to do that kasi you're actually living in it right now. So, if you are a fan of any dystopian sci-fi na merong sharp social edge, do yourself a favor and pick up your own copy of DIE or Department of Irregular Elimination by Just Villanueva. And when you do let me know in the comments kung ano yung mga favorite mo chapters dito. Okay, bibilisan ko na lang to. Pero this is a paperback. As you can see, this book is printed and published under Central Book Supply. At it does have a white paper. Ate Carla, kamusta yung white paper experience mo? I did read this at night. Hindi naman masyadong sumakit yung ulo ko. Why? Kasi the formatting at saka yung spacing per paragraph, yun nga, per line, maganda. I say, stick with this. I like this. Ate Carla, what can you say about the book binding? The book binding is sturdy. Kasi sabi ko nga, di ba, fina-flatten ni Ate Carla yung mga libro na meron siya. And the thing is, dito yung gitna. Nung binabasa ko itong libro na to, talagang naka-open siya. It is open to the point na, naririnig mo pa ba ako? Ano ba yun? It is open to the point na totally flat siya dito sa desk ko. And I was doing all of that. I was reading it. And it's okay. Walang natatanggal na pages. Wala akong problema sa pages niya. Maganda yung pagka-bookbind niya. And as you can see, ito siya. Ayan. Sige. So, walang problema. Wala akong problema sa quality nitong paper. Kahit na white paper siya. Sabi ko nga kanina, meron siyang 153 pages. Ang gamit ko kasi dito na ink is, asan na ba yung pen ko na yun? The pen I use to annotate this book is a Pilot G2. Ang pin niya is 05 and I write with a red pen. I don't know if you can see it, pero ayan, ito yung gamit ko. And then, wala akong ink smudge kahit anong gawin ko dito kasi pasmado si Ate Carla. Quality-wise, paper-wise, this is an uncoated na white paper and wala akong problema habang nagsusulat ako dito sa mga pages. Ate, kamusta po kapag yung nag-highlighter ka? Kasi, as you can see, madaming kulay ang ginagamit ni Ate Carla kapag nag-annotate siya. Wala akong problema, lalo na para sa ink ng mga highlighters ko. Makapal yung GSM na ginamit nila for this one. I'm not saying na 300 ang gamit nila dito, no. Basta definitely hindi to 100. No. Kasi, tandaan nyo, ang gamit ni Ate Carla na highlighter dito is nasa 660. So, yung pages niya, kada highlight ko, ayan o, teka, hahanap ako ng Ito, yung green, nakikita nyo ba yan? Yan o, Back-to-back yan. Pero, hindi nagsisip in dun sa other side ng paper yung ink niya. Yung ink ng highlighter ko. At saka, hindi ko nakikita yung mga text doon sa next page, which is absolutely nice. Kasi nga, hindi manipis yung white paper na ginamit nila for this. So, thank you, Central Books. Love it! Na-discuss ko na yung pagka-crisp ng kulay ng cover, but just in case, ito yung buong cover spread ng book. As you can see, ito yung front cover, ito yung spine, at ito naman yung back cover, at kita mo lahat ng details. I am excited para sa susunod na parte nitong story na to. Kasi, hindi ko na pala sasabihin. Sasabihin ko sana kung ano nangyari doon sa ending, pero hindi na. Kailangan mong bilhin tong librong to para maintindihan mo bakit ganito yung reaction ni Ate Carla. Mag-comment ka ng emoji na explosion dun sa comment section para at least alam ko na pinanood mo yung buong video. Also, napansin ko kasi na madami sa inyo ang hindi pa talaga nakasubscribe dito sa channel ko, pero pinapanood nyo yung content ko. So, it would really, really make my day if you share, and if you follow me dito sa YouTube. Kasi mahilig din ako makipag-interact dito sa YouTube. So, sana lang naman, if it's okay with you, subscribe to my channel.